They don't they don't have to be they don't have to take the assessment to have the PD. I just did a PD a couple of weeks ago. They didn't even take the assessment, and they walked out of there like I had changed their lives. People coming to my office crying, talking to me, just because of the facilitation I did. It was an hour and a half. I want to have 90 minutes. 90 minutes, okay? So it is possible for you to be able to make money utilizing DISC, and that's what we do. 1 second, I'm gonna turn on the recording. I mean, not the recording, I'm sorry, Facebook Live. Did it pause what y'all see? Okay. Stand down. Track. And got it. All right. So we will be hosting this training. So we just want to let you all know about the training. The training will be, it's going to be interactive, but it's live. It's face-to-face. It's not a virtual training. And I believe that when you really get trained, you need to have that face-to-face so you can really sit, ask your questions, move, see the techniques that are being used. So we're doing that. Now, here are some different things that we will be doing. So you could become, I'm reading out for that so y'all will know, become an assessment expert by learning from the best. Our assessment certification programs help people become experts in understanding and using assessments. And we're going to show you this. So Tiff and I are studying under different companies. We get more information. We're not just staying stagnant, right? So we're going to let y'all be privy to some stuff that Tiff and I are doing and what we're learning as well, and how that's going to enhance what you do. Okay, and our training, so it gives you a deeper understanding of the core assessments to use them more efficiently and in your communication, leadership, and decision-making process. Learn how to become a certified assessment specialist and facilitator. So not only what we do here on Monday nights, we go deeper on DISC, right? We're doing deep dives just on DISC, understanding different things about DISC. But how does that help you as a facilitator? You can answer more questions, because now I'm gonna tell you like this. I have done the same PD around the country, same PD. I change the slides to customize them for the people, and I do the same PD because it's that impactful. And every time I finish doing it, people are floored. Plus, little me, add a little sauce on it. It makes it a little bit better. Everybody's spaghetti not the same, right? So you add a little Auntie Val sauce and make it better. But so you're talking about enhancing relationships, improve self-awareness, develop critical thinking skills, master critical certified specialist and facilitator support. So we support you. So the master trainer will evaluate you. So we'll evaluate you and provide you with detailed and professional debriefing. It's more than just understanding DISC. And that's the thing. A lot of people get certified on DISC, but do they know how to use it to make money? It's an additional stream, and that's what we're going to do. The on-site training is April 15th and 16th from 9 to 3 Central Time. It's right here, very close to Chicago. It's going to be in Naperville, Illinois. All right, what are we doing today? Let's have some fun. So today we are doing DISC, tension among the styles, and communication with each style. So this is pretty cool because some of the stuff, it's a review. But some of it is new because you're looking at it through a different lens. And that's what I love about continually using DISC, because I'm growing. I'm constantly growing. So now, when you're talking about pace, a lot of people think about, okay, what does this look like when we say pace? Because we look at that S style a lot for steady, right? But it talks about the pace. So when you think about the pace and you're talking about, so here's where you have conflict, right? When you're talking about that direct, fast pace versus indirect, slower pace. I did that. I wanted to make sure I made that statement. All right. Hold on. Did I click it? No. Okay. All right. So your S's and your I's, they will conflict. They will conflict. Why? Because the pace is one thing. So your I is trying to make it happen. Your I is pushing it. They're ready. And the S is slow. They want to be supported. It's like, don't make no decisions. Let's go. The decision is go. But we have to think about that when you're communicating, or when it comes to understanding that that's the opposite. And sometimes we push and not think about that that's the opposite, right? So your lower left quadrant, which is your S, and then your I, the way this is set up, your I is your bottom quadrant. And that's going to be a conflict. So, but you have to identify that. Your D's will conflict with your C's because your D's are on go. Your D style stay on ready. They stay on go. But your C's, the conflict comes because your C's starting to ask questions. So now your D is saying, you don't trust me? Like, what's wrong? Why we can't do this? Like, why are you asking all these questions? So that becomes that's your conflict. That's when tension happens. So you, as your behavior style, have to recognize your behavior style and know when the tension happens and know how to communicate. So first, we're going to identify the conflicts, and then we're going to show you how to resolve them. Let's go. Now, did I move? There it is. So here's the other one, and here's your why. So guarded. So you have guarded and task-oriented versus open and people-oriented. Conflict. Why you got to ask everybody? Why you talking to everybody? Let's get this done. So your D and your I will have conflict as well. So there's no two styles that's like, kumbaya, my Lord. There's no kumbaya. But when you understand your behavior style and you understand how others flow, then you intentionally find kumbaya. You intentionally provide kumbaya. Now, that S and that C will conflict too. But so the S is just trying to harmonize. They want everything. What do I need? They'll ask questions, but they really are there to help. They're really there to support. But then when you're looking at your C, and your C is there for details, they want more details. Conflict, tension. We're talking tension. All right. So that one was priority. They have the tension for priority. Right. And then now, pace and priority. These two conflict over these two things. Pace and priority. So you have your D, which is direct, fast-paced, guarded, and task-oriented, versus indirect, slow-paced, open, and people-oriented. So your D and your S, your D we don't care about them. Let's go. We don't care. And it's not that they don't care. They're like, in the moment, let's not slow down. Let's get it done. Your I and your C. Your I and your C are going to have conflict for the same. It's basically almost the same reasons, because that I is trying, that C is going to slow down the pace, and the priority is not going to be people. It's not about people. So let's break this down. Let's have a little fun. So now, when you're communicating with the D style, all right, show them how to win. Show them how to win. That's something that you don't think about. It's like you give them things to control, but when you show them how to win, the communication is awesome. There's no tension when I'm showing you how to win because I know who I'm communicating with. Let's go back. Here, you got tension because I'm being me and you being you. That doesn't work. But if I'm going to show you how to win, and I'm talking to a person that has a D behavior style, winning, they're like, oh, you showing me how to do this. That is why I have a dissertation coach. Dr. Kesslin Brace-Stennis is my dissertation coach. She's showing me how to win. And because of my behavior style, I want to win. When they told me I needed somebody to oversee my final project, one of my final projects, I called Shanta. Hey, Shanta, I need you, blah. Shanta almost hung up like no brainer. Yeah, I hate that, like, done. Because they showing me how to win. And that's my behavior style. So when you know who you're talking to and you know the other person, you begin to communicate a little bit better. Let's talk. So you display reasoning. Here's my reasoning. When you're talking to a D, here's the reason I want to do that. Can we have everybody come downstairs? Why? Like, it's just when you not giving enough, when you're giving too many details and everything is wrapped and fluffed and all of that, it's like, what? Why? But if you know, you got to display reasoning and make it make sense quickly. Provide concise data. Yep. If you give me a gift, one of them things where you open up one box and it's another box inside, then 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 inside the last box is a note. Yeah, I'm gonna play it off, but just know on the inside, I'm gonna be flip-flopping. Like, come on. All right. Now, agree on goals and boundaries when you are dealing with a person that's a high D. So let me tell you one of the things I do with my current principal, where at Addison Central High School, I ask him 5 times, hey, or I'll go to him and say, hey, this cool if I do it like this? Because I know me. It's like giving me a credit card with no limit and assume I'm gonna stop at $1,000. The girl ain't stopping, right? I'm gonna get everything I need, want, and possibly could use. But what begins to happen is because I don't have boundaries, or if you don't give me boundaries, I'll make them up. And my boundary may not be where you wanted me to stop. So you have to be clear when you're dealing with a student or an adult or anyone that has a D style. What's the boundaries? All right. Vary the routine. You have to vary the routine, because if you don't vary the routine and you continue and it becomes boring and stagnant, you lose those with behavior styles of D. You'll lose them. Quickly lose them. If I have a routine, every single boom, and it becomes like that, there's no thought to it, and I just do it. Yeah, especially when you're dealing with the same people or the same person and you begin to understand them. You need to know that I need to shift this thing. That's not working. All right. Give compliments. I'm going to put an S on that. Give compliments to compliment them. We'll skip that part. Compliment them on what they have done. Compliment them on what they have done. Provide opportunities for them to lead. Provide opportunities for them to lead where it impact the results. You just can't have your D student lead the line. But the line got them down the hall to the gym room, no problems, because they had a strong leader. It has impacted the results. Let's communicate with I style. Show them that you admire and like them. The best way to get what you want out of someone is to give them what they need. Give them what they like. It doesn't have to be materialistic things. My students would always support me because I gave them what they needed. I gave them what they wanted. I gave them what they liked. And it wasn't just, I keep snacks on deck in my office. If you could ever come to visit me, you would be like, well, dang, because they interrupt all my meetings. I just can't get a snack. You know what it is. I don't even have conversations no more. I just point. All right. Be optimistic. Support their feelings and ideas. Support. That's that new. That's not review. Support. You have to support those I behavior styles, because support is it kind of somehow equates like to them. So they probably didn't support me because they don't like what we're not seeing eye to eye. They don't care for me or something. That's why they didn't support. Like I have to force if somebody doesn't support me, I'll flip it out in my brain, facts or feelings. Like I ask myself that, are you in your facts or you in feelings? You in facts or feelings? What you in? All right. Avoid involved details. Avoid involved details. If it's a lot, it's overwhelming. And the worst thing you could do is have a conversation with someone and they check out. I will check out. If you ever hear me say, I see what you're saying, those words come out my mouth, I'm not listening to you. I see what you're saying. It's like I literally see words coming out your mouth, and I see like, oh, stop. Okay. All right. Focus on the big picture, and I spell big. Okay. Focus on the big picture. Focus on the big picture. What is this going to do? What is it? What is it? Interact and participate with them. Give them time. Do it together. People trip because I'll be like, let's jump on Zoom, do it together. All Tiff and I means, I'll be like, come on, let's hop on Zoom. Don't need to turn your camera on if you don't have to. But we get to process because I like processing and brain dumping. And I'm going to show y'all, Tiff and I'll show y'all when y'all come, the way we put together our presentation. Her, Brandon, and I in a hotel room for getting ready for the PD the next day. Like, it was amazing. Like, literally use the glass balcony doors with our poster system and walk through the process. And it was so amazing because it actually, you could see it funneling and becoming what it needed to be. No matter what your behavior style, it still worked. It still worked. It gave you the visual, it gave you everything, the physical movement, everything. It was great. All right. Interact and participate with them. We did that. Give them time. Provide acknowledgments, accolades, and compliments. Provide acknowledgments, accolades, and compliments. Let's go with our S. Show how your idea minimizes risk. So when you're talking to them, show how this is the process to minimize the risk. Demonstrate interest in them. Ask questions. How's grandma? How are you? So think about, we do an amazing moment when we first start, right? So that amazing moment is twofold. That amazing moment allows you to share something and me to get to know a little bit about you and what's happening in your life. But then it also allows you to lead one moment. It allows everyone to shine, but they also get their love from everybody else. So it's just opportunities like that you provide in your settings that allow people to win. And if someone is like, they don't want to do, you could type it in the chat. You could do whatever. It's still ways to allow people to shine. Give personal assurances, compliment them on follow through. I love the way you did that. I love the way you executed. It's not focusing on the execution, but it's focusing on them executing. All right. Provide a relaxing, friendly, stable atmosphere. Relaxing, friendly, stable atmosphere. Act non-aggressively, focus on common interest. Why are we doing this together? Let's make sure we fought whatever. If whatever is, we can get to that common ground where it's okay, yeah. Brandon was a high S, right? Brandon loved his parents. I would ask about his parents. But because I began to care, because she was a school teacher and she could write, and she was great. But I would ask about his mom. And for long, he always wanted to take his mother to New York. He finally got taken to New York. He sent me the video after he did. I'm like, So it's all those little things, right? All right. Next, provide opportunities for deep contribution and teamwork. They have value. All of our behavior styles have value, but will you allow them to add value? Everyone has value. Do you allow them to add value? Oh, that's a tweet. That's a meme. That's a something right there. Pause. Let it marinate. Come on now. That was good. Everyone has value. Do you allow them to add value? That was one of the things I hated as an assistant principal. Sometimes, because my brain is jumping every 5 minutes with a great idea. And for my first few years, I could not add value. I couldn't add value, right? But I had value. So I started providing it elsewhere. I think that's what motivated me to become so amazing and travel the world, is because I wasn't allowed to do it where I was. You know, and in the Bible, it said when you don't get accepted, shake the dust off. Yep, your feet keep. Yep, I'm out. But it made it easier for me to walk away because I wasn't allowed to add value. all of the value and all of the amazingness that God has put in me, I wasn't allowed to do it. But when you're in a position where you're allowed to just flourish, got the boundaries, but you're allowed to flourish, man, please, if you could flourish, man, you would take off. All right, let's walk through this C real quick. Communicating with C styles, approach indirectly, non-threatening. Approach indirectly, non-threatening. All right. Show your reasoning, logic, and give data in writing. I think sometimes that give data in writing, because I think I do a great job at presenting stuff, and giving data in writing is where an area where I'm growing. It's not a weakness, because I don't have weaknesses. I got limitations. I have things that limit me from getting to my next level, but there's no weakness about me. All right. Allow them to think, inquire, check before they make decisions. When you push someone, you say, you got to do it right now. Yeah. It doesn't work. Tell them why and how. Tell them why and how. Provide opportunities for precision, accuracy, and planning for quality results. So when I went through and I looked at each thread of each one of the communicating styles, what was the one? Hey, Gavin.
Hello.
Hello. He's gone. No more jokes for Auntie Val. He don't play that no more. He's like, we good. We are good. All right. So when we go back through, what was the GPS? What was the thread that was with all 4 styles? Can you tell me? What was the thread? It was a word that started with a G. It was a word that started with a P, and a word that started with an S that was on all the slides.
Give.
Provide.
Share.
Show. Almost there, Dr. Haynes. Yes. Show. So give, provide, and show. And with those 3 things, it really makes a difference when you're dealing with each style. If you ask yourself, what can I give them in this help? What can I give to help them? What can I provide them? What can I show them? Right now, let's go back, because I want you all to see. Now you look at it with a different eye. So your G is give compliments. Your show is show them how to win. Your provide opportunities to lead and impact the results. Show them that you admire and like them. Give them time. Provide. What happened?
I didn't know if you were trying to share.
Oh, girl, I'm reading all these. Y'all ain't seeing nothing. Thank you. You all right? Let's go back. Thank you. All right. So here you can see the give, you see the show, you see the provide. And it's different. Each one is not the same. What you're giving, what you're showing, and what you're providing is not the same. And you think, oh, give and provide is the same. Give compliments, provide opportunities. Show them how to win. Give time, provide acknowledgments, accolades, and compliments. Show them that you admire and like them. Give personal assurance. Provide relaxing, so you got to provide the right atmosphere and provide opportunities for deep contribution and teamwork. Show how your idea minimizes risk. Give data in writing. Provide opportunities for precision, accuracy, and planning for quality results. Show your reasoning and logic. So you got to show, you got to give, you got to provide. That's what they need. So how does this work in the classroom? Let's go to the classroom. You still have to give students what they need. You have to show them the how. show them, and you have to provide them opportunities. So let's have a real, raw, and relevant conversation. Tiff and I had a deep conversation this week about Chat GPT, right? The university professor sent something out and was like, oh, teachers, everybody's like, what will the English teachers do? Because they have this AI system that's able to write all of these things. So Tiff and I talked about it, and it took me back to the moment when my mother was hell-bent on kids in second grade not using a calculator. Years later, you need a TI-85, you need a TI-83, you need this calculator for these classes. You need a calculator. They tell you to get the calculator now. So it's a sign of technology. We're evolving. We're supposed to get better. But when you try to tell them, nope, if the cookies are in the cookie jar, but you can't access them, they going in there anyway, right? So how do you create an environment where Chat GPT is part of the curriculum, part of what you need them to do? Tiff came up with Tiff and I both was talking, but she came up with some great ideas. Tiff, you want to share some of the stuff you talked about? And then I'll share my little sarcastic answer.
One, you have to shift from the teacher being the one that likes to just give homework and grade homework, and you want to and just spit information all day and then send the kid home to apply it. You have to flip it, and it needs to be all application in the class. So if you're using Chat GPT, you get on, tell the students, I used how has racism impacted 2023. And so you have all your students do a one-page summary in Chat GPT and let it write it, but then your students come up and give what they think about that. So they apply the information. They don't have to come up with it, but then you can do a debate based on what are some of the topics in your one pager that you either disagree or don't agree with. And so you put in the application of the information in your class, not necessarily the creation of the information. Everything in life is Googleable now, but can you apply it? Do you understand how it applies to life? So ChatGPT can be used, but you just show them how to use it to get the information they need to develop their own thought process. You really want them to be thinkers. So you give them information to think about versus go write this paper. No, have them read the paper. It works on reading comprehension, their communication skills, all those things that it takes to be a great writer in a different way. And so actually to give them an opportunity to compare all of the one pagers to test the technology out. How many got the same article? So they can see that there's so many different ways to write about the same topic. So really using it as application and foundation of information rather than can they go Google and copy and paste, because that's what they do when they write a paper anyway. So make them apply it.
Are you all familiar with Chat GPT? Okay. Yes. All right. Well, I'm all right. So for the world, we're going to shut Facebook down and then we'll do Chat GPT. I'll show you how to use it and we'll talk about it. But the thing is, with it being, and I told Tiff sarcastically, I said, you know what? Teachers probably just have to teach now. Right. You got to teach. You got to be creative. And if the pandemic didn't show us nothing, the pandemic showed us that all those hours that we spend in school, we don't need all them hours. You need all them hours to learn. There's a lot of fluff in the school day, right? So it used to be reading, writing, and arithmetic, and then they was going to plow the fields, right? So they gave the social aspect of school and start adding SEL, if you will. Then they extended day because you brought your lunch or you went home to eat lunch. The kindergartners still go home at half day, right? They come in, they get a half day, or it's a full day kindergarten, but it's still out here, we still got half day. All right. So it can be done. And then when they first went back from the pandemic, you was going half day. Some kids went in the morning, some kids went afternoon. So what do we need? So it's a lot of the adjustments that have to happen when it comes to a lot of this new technology coming down the pipeline. And a kid writing a paper, yes, it helps. Yes, constructing an email. And when I tell y'all, it took me years to learn how to write my name in cursive and be amazing at it, to the point now they don't even teach handwriting in some schools. Evolution. Even though we don't agree with evolution, but you tell these kids a John Hancock now, and I'll say it again. I told y'all before, that my kids get ready to go to college. I said, self-addressed, a stamped envelope, and I will send you, blah, blah, blah. The envelope don't have the boxes on it. Boxes, they didn't know how to put their name on the envelope and their address. Right? So it's some things like that. All right, Facebook, we out. We'll see y'all next week, next Monday. Oh, I was about to click the wrong button, y'all. We was about to be out for real. All right, I'll stop streaming.